The MCU Spider-Man has been a controversial adaptation among some fans, with actor Tom Holland not only having to fill the role of the legendary Spider-Man, but also fill the shoes of the actors that came before him, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. In this video, I will be reviewing Tom Holland's first introduction as Spider-Man in the MCU in Captain America: Civil War. We first see Peter in Queens, New York, living with his Aunt May, very classic to the character. Stark has come to recruit Peter for his side in this civil war between him and Captain America. We see some interesting concepts for the character, as he is restoring old or broken electronics, showing his resourcefulness and his intellect, having him be awkward in situations that require some lies to be told, showing that he is still trying to handle the complications that come with having a dual identity. This quick introduction is done very well, as it shows how Peter is still trying to come to terms with his dual identities, showing how uncomfortable he is with lying still, as he is just starting off as Spider-Man. Holland, I say, looks the most age-appropriate and the youngest out of the live-action adaptations of Peter. He's a sophomore in high school, so Holland is playing into the stereotypical awkward teen. As I mentioned before, Peter is still in the developmental transitional period of his life, trying to rediscover who he is as a person. He's still the same nerd who got bullied in high school, but only now he can physically do something about it. Only he was taught by someone very important in his life, who I guess shall remain nameless, that it's not about that he has a greater responsibility. They use the scene between him and Stark in his bedroom as a way to quickly establish the character. I appreciate that they don't dive too deeply into his origin, and that he is already an established vigilante in New York, operating as Spider-Man. It allows the movie to move forward, as it has Peter already established as a hero, and what he stands for, responsibility. A theme he shares with Stark and Captain America, and just the overall arc of the movie. This shared desire to be responsible with their gifts and resources is a good basis for the relationship with Stark. I feel that the blind faith that Peter has in Stark is naive, but it fits the character, as he's supposed to be still young and coming to terms with who he is and what he wants to stand for. I do think that the reason Stark gives Peter is too vague for Peter to really trust in it, and they could have used this as a way to give Peter a development, with also developing Stark as well. This experience could have given Peter the desire to go search for his own identity, and to kind of back away from the other superheroes in the community, and try to focus on his own issues in his own neighborhood, with Stark saying that he has become the very thing he rebelled against in things such as Iron Man 2, where he has become the authoritative state that is trying to manipulate people like him and like Peter to do their bidding. Unfortunately, they do rely too heavily on Peter's godlike admiration for Stark. We finally see Peter in his Stark-sponsored suit at the airport battle. The design for the suit is, I think, good enough, keeping with the main elements of the traditional design, though I do think it falls under the main complaint I have of most MCU suits, where it's overly designed. I'm a fan of the moving eyes, as it adds to the expressiveness of the character. I do like his prototype suit a little bit better, as it reminds me of the Scarlet Spider suit, and it feels homemade, that he could have made it himself very easily, and that just shows the drive that he has as a character to pursue this new life as a vigilante. Holland does deliver his lines very well, like a quippy 16-year-old who thinks he's interesting because he knows Star Wars. The lines are scientific, quippy, and mildly annoying, but fun. Stark's plan for Spider-Man is to just assist in the apprehension of Captain America and his team, trusting in Spider-Man and everyone else that no one will get seriously injured, a trust that is later broken. There's still the out-of-place admiration that Spider-Man has for Tony Stark. Since Peter hasn't been Spider-Man for too long, I can only assume that Uncle Ben has only recently passed away. I can understand that Spider-Man looks up to Tony Stark as a scientist and as a hero, both things that Peter is striving to be. But I feel that the similarities he has are more with Captain America, as they are both bullied kids who are always trying to become something better than they are. They've spent their whole lives on the sidelines and are now trying to prove that they are worthy to become a hero and to protect the people that they care about. I think that the moment that Captain America and Spider-Man have should have meant more. The simple motivation that Spider-Man has for this situation is very weak, and I think that the words of Captain America could have easily broken them, having Peter leave the situation on his own accords, with Captain America proving that if he truly believes in something, then he should fight for it. The situation could have been a great character development moment for Spider-Man. He's now seen the complexity of this lifestyle and the conflicting moralities that come with it, moving forward with these lessons learned, and that no matter how great of a hero he becomes, he will still have to deal with these struggles. Knowing the time restraints and the kind of situation that the creators had behind the scenes with the character of Spider-Man, I feel that they adapted him well enough to further develop him in later projects. Most of my complaints are addressed in Spider-Man Homecoming, having that movie be a more appropriate and true introduction of Spider-Man into the MCU. I think that they understood that Spider-Man is a well-known enough character to kind of just throw him into a teen movie like this, and I think it works for the most part. That was my review of Spider-Man in 2016's Captain America Civil War. If you have your own opinions, please leave them respectfully down in the comments, and thank you for watching.